Well, guys, it looks like I'm going to be the hero this time. Hey guys, DB Rye here, and today we dive into a new what if. What if Krillin killed Frieza? Now, I know what you're thinking, DB Rye. DB Rye, how could this possibly happen? Krillin is weak compared to Frieza. There's no way he would kill him. As Moscow X might say, unsubscribe! But just hear me out, because I think y'all are going to enjoy this. So, without further ado, let's get into this by smashing the like button and subscribing to the channel. Graham Stefan, full of all sorts of helpful advice, especially for saving and investing strategies. If you're struggling financially, I recommend you check out the channel. But without further ado, let's get into this story. It's what we came here for, after all. Vegeta, Gohan, and Krillin stood frozen in horror, their eyes wide with fear, as they faced the might of Lord Frieza. The air around them crackled with tension, the very ground beneath their feet trembling under the weight of the impending battle. The Dragon Balls had been used to wish Piccolo back and transport him to Namek, but now they were left to confront the tyrant who had brought so much destruction to their lives. Frieza's cold, calculating eyes scanned the trio, a sinister smile playing on his lips.
So these are the warriors who dare to challenge me, the mighty Lord Frieza?
He sneered, his voice dripping with contempt.
Pathetic. Vegeta, you really should have picked your allies better.
Vegeta clenched his fist, his pride wounded by Frieza's words. Don't underestimate us, Frieza! He growled, his voice filled with determination. We've come too far to back down now. Gohan, though young and inexperienced, felt a surge of courage at Vegeta's words. He stepped toward, his eyes blazing with resolve.
We won't let you get away with your evil deeds, Frieza. We'll stop you, no matter what.
Krillin, despite his fear, nodded in agreement. That's right. We've faced tough enemies before, and we've always come out on top. This won't be any different. Right, guys? Frieza's smile widened, a chilling laugh escaping his lips.
My, such bravado. Very well. Let's see if you can back up your words with actions.
As Krillin, Vegeta, and Gohan began the battle against Frieza. The odds seemed 50-50 at best. The air was thick with tension, each fighter's energy crackling like static electricity. Vegeta, with a smirk of confidence, suddenly shed light on a terrifying truth. You're holding back, aren't you, Frieza? Vegeta scoffed, his voice dripping with disdain. Show us your true power! Frieza's eyes narrowed, a sinister smile spreading across his face.
Oh, Vegeta, always so impatient. But very well, if you insist, I shall show you my true power.
The ground trembled as Frieza began his first transformation, his power level skyrocketing. Krillin and Gohan exchanged worried glances, their confidence wavering. Vegeta, are you sure about this? Krillin asked, his voice tinged with fear. Quiet, Krillin! Vegeta snapped. We need to see his full power, if we have any hope of defeating him. As Frieza transformation continued, Piccolo, flying towards the battlefield, could sense the rising power, his eyes widening in shock. Whoa! Suddenly feels like there's 20 Friezas. This energy is unbelievable. I have to hurry, for Gohan's sake. Back On the battlefield, Frieza's transformation was complete. His new form radiated an aura, pure menace. He was now gigantic. He towered over everybody. "Behold my power," Frieza declared, his voice echoing with malevolence. Gohan clenched his fists, determination in his eyes.
"We can't give up now. We have to fight with everything we've got."
Vegeta nodded, his usual arrogance replaced by a rare moment of solidarity. "Let's show them what we're made of." Although the trio were definitely afraid, it was too late. They were in this for the long haul. They knew they had to face Frieza. They had to battle him in this new state, thanks to Vegeta's boasting. The battle began with renewed intensity, each fighter pushing their limits. The fate of Namek hung in the balance. No, not just the fate of Namek. The fate of the universe was at stake, not to mention their lives. As the heroes faced the terrifying might of Frieza's new power, Frieza's power was overwhelming, sending our heroes flying. They couldn't stand, balance, or stay stable in the air. Frieza relished in his sadistic pleasure.
Now, we must decide who gets to die first,"
he sneered, and out of nowhere, with tremendous speed, he flew and impaled Krillin with his horns, throwing Krillin out of the fight to the depths of the Namekian oceans. The horror of what had just committed had terrified Vegeta, however, had set off Gohan's in a rage. Gohan suddenly tapped into a power deep within him as he unleashed a furious series of attacks on Frieza. Vegeta was shocked by Gohan's power. Gohan hit Frieza with everything he had by smashing the like button and subscribing to the channel. Again, Graham Stephan, that never gets old. He was so sure he had killed Frieza that he stopped for a moment to mourn Krillin. But then, it turned out Frieza was still very much alive. Frieza retaliating, beating, and torturing Gohan. Vegeta could only stand still, scared, unable to do anything. It seemed Gohan was just about to meet his end. When suddenly, by some miracle, Krillin, who had been spared, threw a Destructo Disc! His own technique. Now in the main timeline, Frieza jumped out the way and dodged this attack, only losing his tail. But in this version, he didn't detect it in time. Frieza is cut clean in half by the Destructo Disc. Frieza's eyes widen in shock as he looked down at his own severed body. "Impossible! How could I be defeated by this mere human?" He gasped, his voice filled with disbelief and rage. Gohan panted heavily, looked at Krillin, a mix of relief and gratitude.
"Krillin, right on.
Sit this one out. You'll be fine." Krillin, still clutching his side, where Frieza had impaled him a little bit. Not because he was hurt anymore, just a quick brief reminder of what Frieza had done with him. Krillin managed a smile. "I couldn't let him hurt you, Gohan. We're in this together." Vegeta, who had been paralyzed with fear, finally found his voice. "That was incredible. I never thought I'd see the day when Frieza would be defeated by a human technique." Gohan nodded, his eyes still blazing with remnants of his unleashed power, especially as Dende had healed him. Frieza had underestimated us. That was his downfall. Vegeta stood in shock, unable to believe that Frieza had been defeated before he could even regain composure. Krillin seized the opportunity to power up a full-powered Ki Blast. Given Frieza's weakened state, Krillin's Ki Blast was enough to finish off the tyrant for good. They weren't taking any chances that Frieza had somehow survived being cut in half. Vegeta recomposed, his eyes narrowing as he demanded, "Just wait 1 second. How are you alive? Frieza impaled you." Gohan, still catching his breath, pointed to Dende, the young Namekian child. Dende had restored me, Krillin explained, just like he just restored Gohan now. Vegeta's eyes widened. What? Why didn't you tell me he could do that? Krillin shrugged, equally surprised. We didn't know he could do that. We would have had him heal Goku if we had a new mat. And with Frieza dead, our hero sat for a while, exhausted from the battle. Vegeta, though, tempted to destroy Krillin, Gohan, and Dende for robbing him of his immortality earlier, thanks to their use of the Dragon Balls wishing Piccolo back, realized he might not be able to beat Krillin and Gohan together anymore. After all, Gohan had just taken a beating, a near-death beating, which means Zenkai Boost. If they ganged up on him, the plan of getting any sort of little revenge for robbing him of his wish would have been way out of his reach. Even more so, as now Piccolo had arrived. Piccolo's eyes revealed a facial expression that showed pride in his eyes for his pupil Gohan. You've come a long way, Gohan, Piccolo said, his voice filled with pride. Since the events on Earth when we battled Nappa and Vegeta, you have grown so much. Gohan smiled, grateful for his mentor's praise. Thank you, Mr. Piccolo. I couldn't have done it without your training. And smashing the like button and subscribing to the channel. Vegeta, still fuming, crossed his arms. So what now? Do we just sit here and wait? Piccolo nodded. We should return to Frieza's ship and wait for Goku to heal. Then we can return to Earth. Reluctantly, Vegeta agreed on this, and the group made their way to Frieza's ship. As they walked, Vegeta couldn't help but feel a sense of unease. He knew that their battles were far from over, and he would need to be stronger than ever to face the challenges that lay ahead for them. Ah! Krillin screamed. We left Bulma hanging all this time. Frieza is a pussycat compared to her, Raph. Piccolo and Gohan laughed together. Even Vegeta couldn't help but have a little bit of smirk. A bit of a smirk at that last remark. He had only met Bulma very briefly for, at the very least, a couple of minutes. But still, he had a rough idea on what Bulma was like. And this is where we're going to be ending this little chapter. What did you guys think? Did you like the story? Shall I continue? Have you smashed the like button and subscribed? I will be continuing this more, so definitely subscribe, hit the bell icon, and we'll definitely continue this next time.